Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how I made this weird abstract render right here. It kind of turned out like this 2015 Beeple style kind of thing. A lot of fun making this today, so if you want to see how I just put this together from scratch, yeah, keep watching. So the inspiration from this one actually came from this weird video right here. I'll just find it really quick. It's this, it's called Morphing Fractal Cube. I don't know how I found this, but it's just by this channel called Create Something Clever. Just some random video, and it's just this cube like fractal thing. So anyways, I saw that. I thought it was like a cool shape, and then I just made this render that kind of looks like that kind of shape-ish, but in a different environment. So yeah, that's what this video is. Okay, so yeah, let's just get into it. Start with a cube and just do some kind of recursive thing. I don't really know. But yeah, what happens if I just kind of start messing around and we can just see what is going to happen. This is kind of like an experiment video, but it's okay. So let's try maybe subdividing this, and then I'm just gonna go into face select, and I don't want any of these. I don't know if this is the best way to do it, but I'm gonna try this, and then Alt E extrude faces along normals, like that, and then maybe we can just do this again here. Take these ones on like this cube right here, and then maybe it can be like recursive on this, like each segment of a corner of the cube gets smaller and smaller, or like more and more subdivisions. So I don't know, maybe this will be interesting. So again, just do that bevel. I don't really know how big to make this exactly, but something like that should be cool. Just pull that in like there. This might be ruining the geometry on the inside too. Like, this does not look that good right here, but I think it'll be okay. So anyways, we can do that one more time here. So just two edge loops like that. And then I guess it'd be easier to do this one at a time. So we can do like that right there. And then this, I'm actually extending past this one this time. I didn't really mean to do that, but I guess it's fine. So we could just do that, bevel, get rid of that. And then what happens if I do this? And also this. So Alt E, extrude faces along normals, just pull that in. Okay, I think I need some kind of like nice texture on this, just to kind of, just to get an idea of where this should be going. Like this, I think that'll be fine for now. I can always switch that out for something from Quixel or whatever later, but let's throw that on, make it metallic. What if this is just kind of dark? Yeah, that's cooler. Maybe even darker. Like there, something like that. Now, I need to make this look cool, and right now it does not look cool. What the hell? What happens if I just kind of randomly delete faces? Or if we want to do this non-destructively, I guess I could add a mask modifier. Let's try this. Mask. And then vertex group, new vertex group, and then anything here. I can just select like one by one. This guy, this guy, this. It's just some random faces along the outside here. Maybe these. Okay, so what? Control plus to expand the selection, and then assign that to the vertex group, and then the vertex group that's going to get masked is the group I just made. Flip it. That's kind of interesting. Right, let's see what happens if I switch the environment to kind of something dark. So yeah, let's get a light in here. Like, let's just start with an area light. Make it like something bright-ish. Maybe brighter. Add another digit in there. Make it a bit bigger. Maybe bluish. Kind of going for that like cyber kind of vibe. So that might be interesting. Maybe rotate it so it's like this kind of menacing angle towards the camera. And maybe let's do a plain, just Control L, link material. And what happens if I duplicate this, scale it down, and then delete this, new texture? What if we do like some kind of like orange emission or something. What about a build modifier to kind of randomly subtract certain parts of the mesh? Let's try that. So build, and then the way this works is it's based on the frame number. So I'm just pressing the arrow keys to move through different frames. And I wonder if I can like randomize right there. Okay, so we'll just close that. And then if Windows wants to work properly, we can just go into my Midjourney folder. And then I've generated these weird like abstract glitchy, I don't even know what this is, but just abstract glitchy kind of textures in Midjourney. And you just type in like, you can see the prompt I use, like glitch computer screen code, black background, and you just kind of go from there. And I've been using these to create like really weird glitchy effects. So let me try bringing this in. It's kind of like reminds me a lot of JS placement, but it's like the AI version of that. So anyways, let me just take this. Let's actually go to the orange texture down here and run that into the alpha of this texture. See, that's cool. That's really cool. Okay, so let's take a color ramp here. Okay, I'm starting to like this now. This is going to be crazy. And let's just kind of crank this a little bit, although it doesn't need to be that high contrast. Just bring that up a tiny bit. And then let's increase the emission strength. Whoa. And then what happens if I run this into the color of that as well? Whoa, that's cool. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's also get some volumetrics in here because, ooh, look at that. That looks like getting like product render vibes now. Okay, so let's hit new texture, do my usual, just delete this, volume scatter, drop it in 0.005. When it doesn't update, just move the viewport around to like scroll in and out, or just move it around to refresh it. We're already getting like a kind of glare effect from that, which is kind of nice. Let's display it as bounds. Some people have asked about this to bring up this menu. It's just this down here. You go to the orange square, the object tab with the cube selected, go down to viewport display, display as, and then switch it from textured over to bounds. If you right click this and then hit add to shortcuts. Yeah, something about like add shortcut. That is, I made the shortcut D for display as on my keyboard, so I remember easily. So I can just press D, texture, D, bounds. So that's how I do that really fast. Okay, so we can just keep duplicating this around itself and just get like crazier and crazier results. So let's make some kind of environment around this. Now, this might be the tricky part because I don't know where this belongs. The first thing that's coming to mind, I haven't thought about this at all, but just the first idea that is just kind of coming to mind is if I go on my page, this kind of thing. If I just go to my profile and search for, it's gonna be way back here. I gotta scroll a bit to find it, but I'm thinking of like a rocky, desolate, surreal kind of landscape. This would be cool. So like, it kind of like gives me I don't know, Destiny 2 kind of vibes a little bit. But the main thing is these rocks down here. The easiest way to get these rocks is just by using a texture from Quixel. I think that's exactly what I did there. I'll try to find the exact same one actually. So let me just search for rock. We go to surfaces. And then, yeah, I remember it was this one. Okay, so let me export this instead. And that should give me the look I wanted. Go to this one. I think I have the right one now. So we'll bring this, just fix it again. Control 1. Oh, it's already on there. And then back to settings. Bump only, displacement and bump. Okay. Apply scale. And why is that not showing up? Oh, because the displacement map is not here. Okay. Let me get these in here. Back to bridge, right click, go to files. That opens up this. Grab the displacement map, drop it in. Just doing the same things I just did. Color of this into the height of the displacement. Run that out here. Apply scale. Scale by 0.5 because I don't think it needs to be that much. And then, oh, maybe it does actually. And then, yes, just bring this Now that's very clearly repeating, so maybe it doesn't need to be that big, like 0.6 maybe. Now, how did I get that look in this other render? Okay, let's just adjust the roughness again. So bring this up. Something like that. And then bring this down. And then hue, saturation. Just drop the saturation, drop the hue, just so it's really dark. Specular. But it seems like no matter how much I scale it up, it still looks like trash. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe by the time I render it, it'll be fine. Like, let's just try this. Test render really quick. Yeah, that's going to be fine, I think. Yeah. Let's take some of these Alt-P, just clear parents, so it's not parented to anything. I just duplicated this main metal part. Just took that into its own thing. Maybe have some of them like rotated like this. See, I don't really know what this is, but I just kind of just going for that like abstract sci-fi panel type of vibe. Should probably have a more clear sense of what I'm doing, like a better sense of direction, because I'm kind of just messing around randomly. I don't know. Let's try messing around with this color on this. Let's take like a mixed color, run that into, I guess I can just take this and drop it right there. Let's multiply in some, whoa, or like, whoa, really nice blue, or, ooh, that's cool. Crank this strength. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Duplicate S, Shift Z, F, just scale it on the Z a little bit so it's not clipping through the top. Rotate 90 degrees, join it together with itself. Okay, cool. And now I haven't messed up the middle thing. Maybe a different camera angle. Like maybe I could just take this and go back here and do like a 24mm lens. Oh, that might be interesting actually. Let's increase the size of the volume. And maybe take these and just kind of put these around. Like a bit randomly. Have like some weird looking pillars here and there. This might be interesting. And maybe more of these ones like on the ground. Just gonna chuck a few more of those in there. Let's actually do a lot of these. And then this still needs to be like more interesting. Maybe we could have like wires and stuff that are holding this up or something like that. Like let's try, let's get some wires in here. Just, oh here. Okay, so let's take these, yeah. So just kind of chuck these in here. Wherever it seems like it makes sense for this to go, I'm just going to throw it in there. Okay, what else do we need? Let's look at my sci-fi pack and just kind of grab some like, I don't know, this shit. Or on the sides or something maybe. Right there and there. It's kind of nice. Maybe one more of those here. Maybe not. What else? Let me just drop a photo scan of me in here. Just spin that around. That makes it a bit better. Sense of scale. Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. Try changing the color on this thing again. Let's just make it much brighter and then make it like, okay, let's put that there and just, that's kind of cool. Having it like pink-ish might be interesting. Let's render it. So, I don't know, 256 samples at this resolution should be good. Okay, looks like I need to fix a couple of these things. There's not enough samples, and it's really messy and just blobby around here, so I'm going to fix that. The other thing is you can see the floor texture repeating pretty obviously, so I'll just deal with that really quick. And then, yeah, we'll just do re-render. So I'm just going to fix those couple of issues, come back when it's done. Okay, fast forward to here. I've now finished it, or at least pretty much finished it. So I'll show you how I got from what you were just seeing to this, because I cut out a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so here it is straight out of Blender. So I'll just show you how I got from here to, through all the edits I've done, to the final thing you just saw. So the first thing I did was, there's all these edits at the bottom here that are not that important, but I'll just quickly run through them. I'm adding a little bit of glow. You can do that with the glare node in Blender as well. You don't have to do it in Photoshop. I'm using the mist pass to brush in a little bit of kind of smokiness down here, but that's not that big of a difference, so I'm not going to go over that. But there's this right here. This is just a curves layer over the whole thing. There's a mask on it, but it's pretty much the whole thing that's getting affected, and it's just making the whole thing darker. I don't know, I just felt like it should be darker, so that's in there. Then there's this these two layers of lens dirt and dust particles. So you can see what that's doing. It's just not necessary to have this, but it just does kind of add a little bit more detail and just kind of a fun effect over everything that makes it look a bit more exciting. Some people do not like this lens dirt effect, but I like it, so it's in there. But the main change that's happening is this layer right here, which is the camera raw filter, of course. You've probably seen me talk about this many times before because it's so powerful, but I'll just quickly show you the settings that are in here. I have other videos showing exactly how I set this up and how to get this to work properly and how to use it and everything, and I just wanted to show you quickly the settings I've used. So if I go in here, it's really not anything that crazy. It's just exposure is turned up a little bit. I know I just made it darker and now I'm making it brighter again. It doesn't really make sense, but it's just what I did, so that's in there. The clarity is up, the saturation is up, the sharpening is up, the grain is up, and that's pretty much the main changes right there. But there is some other stuff, but the grain, this is actually kind of important here. If I take this off and you look at what's happening, what this is covering up, you can kind of tell if I hide this. There's a lot of like really weird denoising artifacts and just blobby crap that Blender did from the render. Maybe I didn't use enough samples, or maybe my scene wasn't fully optimized or whatever, but it just kind of hides all those little imperfections from the render when I have grain in here. So that's really one of the main reasons I use it, but also it just does look nice and kind of gives it a warm look to it. So that's mainly why I use grain, is to cover up imperfections and also just add that nice film kind of look to it. There's some other stuff happening. There's the color mixer. I did adjust the blues, like the blue saturation, hue, and luminance a little bit. It's not really better or worse, but it's just kind of changing the color of the blue sections of this image. So I don't know, I just felt like doing that, so it's in there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the camera raw filter. Nothing that crazy, just some basic edits, but combined all together does actually make quite a big difference. So I'll just get out of here, and that's pretty much done right there, but there are a couple of other layers. There's a color lookup table, which is basically just a filter over everything. Not doing too much, but just kind of adding more contrast. A curves layer over everything on top of that, and this is basically just fading the black parts of the image. If I zoom into like the really dark parts and hide this layer, you can see it kind of adds that like Instagram filtery kind of look over everything, which I kind of like sometimes. So it's just, you just do this, and like if you can see, it's probably small, but if you just lift this section of the curve right there, it's kind of just doing a little bit of that. Obviously don't go too extreme with that, but it does look nice having it in there a little bit. And then over top of everything is this final dust and scratches overlay. This is what it looks like without any blend modes, but it's just, if you just go on Google, type in the word like dust, like free dust and scratches pack, you'll probably find this exact one or something very similar. So it's just a dust and scratches black and white image that you can just put onto here. You just change the blending mode over to color dodge or screen or something, and then lower the opacity. Here I'm lowering the opacity and fill, but they're doing the same thing in this case, so either one works. But this is kind of like adding another layer of grain a little bit. It's kind of doing the same thing where we're kind of, if I hide and show this, it kind of like fakes having a bit more detail and like excitement and stuff happening in here. So I kind of like it to make it look like there's more stuff going on than there actually is. It's kind of a free detail hack kind of thing. And it also just adds, again, more of that warm kind of look to it. It doesn't really make sense for this techie sci-fi thing to have like a vintage grain thing over it, but I find it looks really just nice and cool when you do that. So that's in there. But yeah, I guess it doesn't really make that much sense, but it looks cool, so it's in there. And that's done right there. So yeah, that's it. I hope that was useful. If you thought this was useful and you want to see my full environment creation process, like from start to finish, and you want to get access to a bunch of models that I use in my own work that I've made over the past couple of years, there's a link to a course down below. That'll take you to a sales page, so you can go check that out if that's something you're into. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in some other video. Bye.